And
Hi everyone. We are on week 13. Joe and I've just been saying, can't believe it's 13 weeks when I thought I would give up after 10 days. So I will hand you over to Joe to ask me some questions.
so yeah, a quarter of a year with working with Sustain. How have you found it? Let's have a summary.
It's just so good. It really is so good. I mean, it's good because I don't the bits that I thought would find really hard, like the eating healthy foods and the being hungry. I thought I'd be hungry. I'm never hungry. Exercising, thought I couldn't do exercise anymore. I can do exercise. All of those things are fine. The thing that I think for me that's well, not made sure, but it why I'm continuing and I don't feel any sort of I don't want to ever stop is that it's the challenge in my mind and the challenging um and the looking at positivities, but also challenging my thoughts more than anything else. Um, just keeps me wanting more and more and wanting to improve more.
So, what was your task last week then? What did you set yourself to try and do?
I had to say no. I had to say no and just stop agreeing to do everything and stopping. So if I say no about something, and not as direct as going, no, I'm not doing it, but in a just not agreeing to do things that I don't want to do, or just saying no and pausing and stopping after I've said that. So yeah, I was it's worked out okay. I said to Joe this morning, please can I keep on doing this because I find this really challenging. And he was like, yeah, yeah, absolutely. And we've talked about it this morning and about how this sort of cuts across a lot of things that I'm really quite I have a lot of self-criticism and so we're going to continue with this sort of saying no while looking at self-compassion as well.
Yeah, and where did that kind of come up from then? Because that's something that's we've not discussed as much so far.
Because what I was saying to Joe is that I would do anything for people and I do things for people and I would rather at any stage um, stop what I was doing for myself and help somebody else. I always would do that. I think that I react and I just stop what I'm doing and just try and help other people. And I really try to give a rounded advice. And I genuinely want to help people. I do genuinely want to help people, but sometimes that's to my own detriment. I don't talk to myself in the same way that I would talk to my friends. I talk to myself quite negatively. And I have a lot of self-talk in my head that isn't always the most positive. It is getting better because I see things more positively, but I have a lot of sort of inner dialogue that's like quite taking on everybody else's issues and problems means that I don't have the compassion for myself because it's so full up with everybody else's worries or not even worries. It might not even be a worry. They might just mention something like, I don't know, or I need to have something from the shop and I can't get there. I would straight away go to the shop and get somebody something. It's just how I am.
And so, what's the goal for this week then? What are you going to try to do?
So I'm going to try and think of something that's self-soothing for me. So what I said is for me it wouldn't be anything. I don't think it would be anything sort of physical and or anything like that. Mine has got to be something about in my mind, like self-talk. So I'm going to look for a phrase or a couple of phrases that really resonate with me about self-compassion and Joe gave me one which was be a guide, not a savior, and I really like that one. But I'm going to look at all of. I'm going to just look out for things, and I might get my notebook out and put a few down because um, I think that this is something that I'm probably going to take a while with me.
Yeah, agreed. I think with stuff like the phrase you said that really resonated with me was I'm I'm going to paraphrase and probably get it wrong. You know, I'm self-critical from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. And so, you know, when she said, "Can we do this for more than a week?" I was like, "Absolutely," because it's very rare that someone's going to change that in a week, and so
Yeah,
that can have a will have a bigger impact on your happiness and health, and probably on your food and exercise than
yeah,
anything else. Because if we can have
yeah,
you being in a better state mentally, then it's going to be easier to do those things, and it's going to make you
yeah,
happier immediately. So
yeah.
makes
And it's
sense.
about the longevity of it, isn't it? Because like I've seen loads of things where people can go and lose weight for a short period of time, but then something happens, and then the stop focusing on their well-being in that respect. So for me, I've got to work on these things because it just, to continue with how I'm going.
That's a really good point because what you said there, like you are often at capacity, like with your own problems and everyone else's, and then you take on more and more and more, and then eventually the banks of the dam burst, and that's when you'll go to food and the exercise will stop and those
Yeah,
pieces. And so, you know, life is going to throw curveballs in there, and so we have to get to the point where we've got a bigger capacity, or we're just dealing with what's going on more effectively and not taking on more than we need to, because
yeah,
you know, I said to you, when you give people advice, how often they follow it, and you're like, almost never. You know, so
yeah,
you're doing the best that you can, but you're, for want of a better term, wasting time. You know,
yeah,
there are people who you can help and people who you can't help, and sometimes you don't need to help people. Sometimes you can
yeah,
just be there for them. You know, we don't
yeah,
always have to solve people's problems. Sometimes just being there for them is enough, and learning to distinguish those decisions is where we want to get to.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Well, let's see how that goes next week. Nice to speak to you as always.
Thank you, Joe.